Hello everyone, this is Ghostly Dinosaur. Today I'm going to be reading a fanfiction. This is my first ever PODFIC, so please be nice. I tend to stutter sometimes, so you may hear that every once in a while. This is a fic is called My Heart Hurts More Than My Body. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fic, 2012 version if you wanted to know that. The summary is Mikey goes for a walk, gets beat up, and has some thoughts. Or bro is us overstimulated and I can't write. Alright. This is a 2-fic and it's only like 1,000 words, so I'm gonna be doing this in one video. Chapter 1. Brain goes brr. Beads of water dripped from the water tower. They made a little tapping sound whenever they hit the ground. It was a relatively quiet night. As quiet as New York can be anyways. The cool air dug into his skin like a shovel working its way through compact dirt. He felt like dirt. Mikey had been staring at the accumulating puddle under the water tower for quite some time now. Tap. It felt like his brain was too loud, bright, and scratchy at the same time, and he went on a walk to try and get his brain to stop. But apparently topside was louder than sewers. So here he was, staring at a puddle, trying to find the off button for his brain. Tap. He wondered if sleeping would help. Even if it could, it likely wouldn't, considering he probably couldn't go to sleep like this. Maybe he could draw something? Tap. Nah, he didn't want to touch anything right now, except maybe water. Cold water. Like the puddle in front of him, except maybe bigger. Enough to be submerged in. Enough to sink in. To never have to worry about touching anything, or getting out, or thinking, or existing anymore. Someone finding his body. Tap. Whoa! None of that! He stood up and started climbing down the fire escape of the building he was on. A few spots on the fire escape were sticky, making Mikey cringe. Now he wanted water again, to wash the stickiness off his hands off, to scrub all the grime and dirt from his skin, to put pressure on his chest to make him sink. Tap. That's weird. What made that sound? The water tower was all the way up there. He couldn't have heard it from here. So what made that noise? Tap. Mikey spun around, still gripping the sticky fire escape. He reached for his nunchucks. A crowd of 9 or 10 footbots stood below him. Isn't that just dandy? Did he have to do this right now? He really didn't want to. He considered climbing back up the building and running, but they could follow him home. He had to take them out. Hey guys, nice night tonight. He started, jumping down to face them. They charged. What? No time for small talk? Mikey was kind of disappointed that they were bots and couldn't make conversation. At least he'd have some entertainment. 2 bots swung at him at once, and jumping wasn't an option, so he had to take a hit and block the other. Mikey's fighting style was generally evasive, so being in a crowd wasn't exactly helpful, especially since he was against the alley wall. He took 3 or 4 down before more bots flooded the alley, distracting him. I feel that more friends are not currently necessary, Mikey advised. A bot grabbed a hold of him and threw him against the dumpster. Despite his shell, it knocked the wind out of him, making him hiss in pain. He rushed to his feet, only to be knocked back down by a different bot. He landed on a glass bottle, shattering it. The shards dug into his skin. He stood back up, blocking any oncoming attacks, and jumping onto the dumpster. He jumps back into the group of footbots, using the blades on his nunchucks to slash off metal limbs and give him some space to move. The bots circle him, looking for an opening. They attack. He blocks most, but takes a few hits. He slashes, taking out a bot or 2. The cycle repeats. When he finally thinks he's making progress, 7 more fill the alley. He gets shoved into another wall, landing in a heap of trash, some of said trash being sharp. Ow. Maybe he deserves this. He wasn't that much help to the team. In fact, he was a liability. He gave away their cover, he joked at the wrong times, he gave away important information. The only way he benefited his team was as bait or another body in the stand against Shredder. They wouldn't miss him. They'd only be sad out of moral obligation. He should just slam. He moved out of the way before a bot's fist connected with his face. Maybe give a guy a warning before you try to bash his skull in, the turtle complained, bashing the bot in the face before dodging a second attack. It felt burning in his lungs. He knew he couldn't keep this up forever. He needed to escape fast. He felt like there was smoke in his lungs. Smoke! Mikey always took some smoke bombs with him because they were really fun to throw. And the team usually needed them on missions. Another football swung at him. He blocked and then took off its head with his blade. Screw not leading that back to the base. He'd rather not have that on my obituary. He smashed the smoke bomb into the ground and ran. Mikey stumbled back into the lair, adrenaline having worn off. He finally felt his cuts and bruises once again. Ow. He needed a medkit. He knew there was one in the bathroom and one in the kitchen, but he didn't know where the one in the bathroom, where in the bathroom it was, and he didn't really feel like looking. Halfway to the kitchen, he became painfully aware of the shard of glass embedded in his thigh. For the millionth time, ow. He made it to the kitchen counter before his vision started to blur. He collapsed, taking some pots on the counter down with him. Okay, we're going to be going on to chapter 2. Alright, chapter 2. They just wanted to sleep. Sad face. Summary of this chapter: they find their brother's bruised body. Leo just wanted some sleep. Donnie wishes he hadn't. Okay. Leo awoke to the sound of metal clanging against the floor, presumably from the kitchen. He got up, body sore from sleep. Sleep that really came to him, sleep he was just awoken from. He swears if it was Donnie in his lab or Mikey craving a midnight snack, he was going to be detained for assault. He swings his door open, seeing Raph also emerging from his room, and Mikey's door wide open. He assumed Donnie was still asleep. Lucky fucker. The few times he sleeps like the dead. Raph looked like he did too. He too wanted to commit bodily harm against the maker of the big boom sound. What the hell was that? Raph grumbled. If it was Mikey, I'm generally gonna cry, Leo commented. If it was Mikey, he won't wake up tomorrow, Raph added, only somewhat joking. They walked into the kitchen, looking for the cause of their untimely awakening. Mikey, they had agreed. Huh. He's not here. Leo was interrupted by the sound of Raph yelling in pain. Mother of... Raph cut himself off, lifting his foot to inspect it. I stepped on glass. That's weird. We just swept today. Mikey probably broke something and ran off, like he usually does. Raph concluded, walking behind the kitchen island. Yeah, but usually he'd be nearby. This is a little odd, he said, leaning against the kitchen island. Raph? Leo asked the now frozen Raph. I think I was right about him breaking something. He almost whispered. What do you mean? Leo paused, walking around the counter. Oh shit! Mikey had in fact broken something, most likely a bone. Leo realized this upon seeing his brother's bruised body lying on the floor. He had glass embedded in his thigh, a few scrapes on his shell, as well as bruises everywhere. His left wrist was also resting at a weird angle. It was like there was a sale on bruises or something. Leo was used to seeing his brothers battered, but they rarely passed out. Also, the factor of him being injured with a brother nearby or saying anything about leaving the lair was not information Leo liked. Leo rushed forward, grabbing Mikey. He was definitely alive. Now, to make sure it stays that way. Donnie regretted sleeping. A lot. He normally didn't like sleeping that much because he always woke up feeling horrible and icky. But now he really regretted it. He was awoke into the sound of hushed yelling and shit hitting the ground from his lab. He was sure of it. If someone was in his lab, he was going to be upset. He stumbled out of his room, sleep still heavy in his system. He looked around the base from where he was standing. No one in the living area or in their rooms. No sound was being emitted from the kitchen/dojo direction. The sound was in fact leaving the lab. His lab. There better be a good reason for this, he thought. And there was. He soon found out after opening the doors to his lab. What the fuck? The words left his lips without permission, but he probably would have said them regardless. Is Sleeping Beauty over here finally awake? Raph greeted, not looking up from his task of rummaging through shit. Donnie, where do you keep your antiseptic? Leo chimed in, bandaging their little brother's mangled body. Okay, maybe mangled was an overstatement, but still. Also, language. I ran out. There should be some in the kitchen or bathroom. Raph sprinted from his current rummaging spot out of the lab, presumably to get disinfectant. What the hell is going on? He yelled. I feel like the better question is how one runs out of disinfectant, especially disinfectant that only you use. No, the better question is still why and how our little brother, my only little brother, is bleeding out right now. Number one, that's 2 questions. Number 2, he wouldn't be if you still had disinfectant. It's not that deep, and I'm 90% sure Mikey's not bleeding out to the fact that I don't have disinfectant. And more so the fact that he has multiple fatal injuries. I got it, Raph exclaimed. Got what? Leo asked, trying to stitch a wound close. Raph looked at Leo as if he were Mikey, who had just said something possibly stupid. The disinfectant, Raph said. Oh, yeah, thanks. Leo grabbed the bottle and continued his work. Seriously? Donnie asked, unimpressed. He took a spot next to Leo and passed off Leo needed to him, as well as bandaging minor injuries. Basically, plain nurse. Is no one going to tell me what happened? Donnie, can you prepare Raph for a blood transfusion? Leo asked instead of answering. Donnie did as he was told, opting to ask Raph instead. We just found him in the kitchen like that. Raph replied. This is going to be a long night, Donnie thought. Okay, that's the end of this fic. I hope you liked it. I know the fic ends on a bit of a cliffhanger. I kind of wish they, I kind of wish there was a 3rd chapter. I would love to know the aftermath of this, of Mikey waking up, but, beggars can't be choosers. So, anyway, please read this fic. It's by, I forgot it's by MoistCheese27. I forgot to say that in the beginning. I will put a link to the fic in the description, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Bye. Have a great day. Anyway, I wanted to let you know that this is not going to be the last PODFIC for me. I will be doing more, and I will also want to let you know that most of the fics I will be doing will either be My Hero Academia, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and maybe a few others if I can find any that I really like of other fandoms that I like. So, anyway, please have a great day, and do your homework. Bye.